Hey everybody, Betterment Tobacco. Long time no see. I know. It's been busy. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but hopefully today, tomorrow, and Wednesday is currently Monday. That'll rectify that. Because hopefully what I'm planning on doing is smoking a lot today, a lot tomorrow, and a lot on Wednesday. And getting several videos in and then releasing them over time so that I'm a little ahead of schedule, so that when I do record when I'm supposed to, that I can get those videos out in succession, and then I'm not interfering with my other plans and other scheduled things, and I know that I'll have a video today, at least right now. We will be smoking the Plasencia Alma Fuerte in the box press Salomon Vitola. The bands are loose. That's the only measure I need. I'm gonna take off this footband. Slid right off. Save your bands. Definitely gonna save this one. This one was sent in by Johnny over at Johnny OCD. Go check out his channel. I'll leave it linked in the title. Ooh. Considering this is such a small foot of the cigar, right? Should I soft flame it? No. I'm lazy and I don't want to go inside. I'm just going to be very careful when it comes to lighting it. I know you can't see it right now, but like, this is a jet flame, and I am being so careful right now, trying not to char anything too bad, but just get it nice and toasted. I didn't cut it. We're off to a great start today, boys. We are off. And girls, if girls are watching, I doubt they are. But off to a wonderful start. Great draw. The wrapper smells like chocolate. The dry draw is a lot of cocoa. It's nice and sweet. Anyway, let's try and do this again. Draw's a little tight on light up. Not gonna lie to you. And it's a little light on the smoke output. But I'm assuming that's because it hasn't opened up yet. And once it does, that draw will get much more full, much more open. And much more tasty. Anyway, just to talk a little bit about myself and what's been going on, just any update, you know. Not that anyone cares, but I did finish off the rugby season that I was coaching. I was helping coach, and they did wonderfully. They definitely showed, you know, that they were there to play, but that caused my week to be kind of a lot. I was kind of getting up at 8 o'clock and then going to bed at 12 p.m. And then or 12 a.m. technically, and then getting up at 8 again. And just I kept moving. I was always out of the house. I felt like I didn't have a minute to spare when it came to smoking a cigar and relaxing and sitting down and just enjoying it. So hopefully this will be a wonderful experience. Right now, tight on the draw. But like I said, I think that'll change once it opens up. I love cigars that are like, and this isn't that weird because it's just a Salomon that's been box pressed, but I love cigars that are weird. Like, I love ones that look weird. There's some that I see and I don't even know how to cut them. Like, I haven't picked them up yet, but I look at them and I'm like, I wouldn't even know how to cut that considering how it looks. And like, there's some that just look really strange and usually are like the egg by Drew Estate. It's literally like a massive ball of tobacco and then it's tapered on both ends. And I think that would be hilarious to get, just because those things, those like little novelty things, they get me. And I know. It's a, oh, what's it called? It's a, not novelty. Fuck. Not a scam either, because you're getting something still and you're paying for it. But I can't think of the word right now, so that's fun. Anyway, whatever it is, it's just something that, you know, it's out there to look cool and it's out there for the gusto of it. I don't know how to speak English anymore. Draw's still tight, and I feel like it's taking a while to burn, and that might be, I don't know what it's due to. Getting a lot of different wood nuances. A little bit of pepper, just very, very slight through the retro. And I mean, not a lot else right now. I'm not worried about that. I know Plasencia to be a good brand, and I know that they tend to develop really, really well. They're just usually also really good from light up. Damn birds. They're also really good from light up, and considering that they're really good from light up, feels unusual, but it's also an unusual Vitola, and that's what you get with unusual Vitolas. Weird things happen, especially with like torpedoes, like yeah. No, I'm wrong. Wow, today's real testing me. But with like the Salomon Vitolas that have like the really small foot opening, or the even the Perfectos that have the really small foot opening. That's the word I think I was looking for. I think that they do a good job of making this box pressed because it allows for better air channels. At least in my experience, box pressed leads to better airflow than the typical Parejo shape of a traditional cigar. It's not to mean that you can't get Parejos that smoke beautifully, because you can, and hopefully I'll be smoking a few of those today. Next on the day, on the docket, is the Ferriotego Elegancia, and that cigar, I know a lot of people love that cigar, and I'm really excited for it. So I'm really excited to smoke that. Today's a good day. I'm gonna make it a good day by smoking a lot of good cigars. I don't know what's after that, but I know I'm gonna be smoking several cigars today. At least, I want to say at least 5, but probably more likely at least 4. and then hopefully my hope is like 6, and then I'll do it again tomorrow. So that's a goal. Currently, when it comes to the Plasencia Alma Fuerte box press Salomon, really light smoke output. There it goes. Really tight draw. I'm not liking the draw right now. It feels like I have to work for it a little bit. And I mean, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue once it gets past this little nubbin up here. There's some sweetness on the tip of the tongue. That's why I'm kind of licking my lips, is because it's like kind of right here. It's right at the front of the palate. And it's almost, it's like this cocoa honey like sweetness that's right on the front of the palate. And then the back of the palate is coated with this almost oaky wood nuance that reminds me very much of another cigar that I smoked that I can't name. Mostly because it didn't have a band. It had a name, but it was a house blend using Ecuadorian tobacco. So I'm sure that's what's kicking in here with that oak. I feel like I get that a lot from Ecuadorian tobacco. You get a lot of those wood nuances. And then obviously there's like a Nicaraguan spice. So I have to look at the blend of this. Because if it doesn't have Ecuadorian tobacco, then I look like a fool, which is fine. So it does have Ecuadorian tobacco, by the way. It's Plasencia. But I think the draw's picking up a little bit, like getting better. Smoking like a chimney right now. You can't see it, but like it's a lot of smoke. Lighter in flavor than I thought it would be, considering it came from Johnny. And like I said, go watch his videos. But when you're watching his videos, he loves a nice pepper sting, a nice robust sting through the sinus. And I'm really not getting a lot of that. I'm getting a lot of lighter, woody, slightly sweet, very aromatic flavors throughout my palate. It's nothing floral yet, but it's aromatic. That's the best way I can describe it. This is aromatic. It feels like it would be. It's pleasant to fill up a room, and that's not the smell coming off the cigar. That's just what I'm tasting. And like I said, lots of wood on the back of the palate, and that little bit of sweetness that's right at the front of the tongue, right on the front of the palate, is really, really nice. But I just wish the draw was better so far. And I was expecting a bolder cigar, but I guess since it's early in the morning, I guess I'm okay with that. Who cares? You know? Hopefully, we'll have further development once it gets past this, like I said, this little area that's opening up currently. It's not really to that box press yet. I feel like I'm getting oak on the palate, mostly. I feel like that's most of what the flavor profile is so far, is a very woody oak. But it's not dry. It's definitely not a dry oak. It probably has a little bit of that, I don't want to say cedar because it's not cedar. It's not like a cedar taste. It's more of that moisture content. Just because I associate cedar with moisture, because obviously. So, but it's very much like a very, it's like when you have wet oak and it's just like, that smell is pretty strong usually, especially in like whiskeys and things like that. That taste is still strong, but it's not tanniny. For those of you that drink, tannins are, or for those of you that don't drink, tannins are more bitter. They dry out the palate. That's why wine, people who drink a lot of wine and they have a red wine, say it's a very dry wine. It's the tannins that are in it, and it kind of pulls the moisture from your mouth. This isn't that. This has, it's a lot more, I hate calling it this because it's not, but it's smoke, but it's juicy, if that makes sense. It makes you salivate. It has a good flavor profile. It's just, I think my expectations of what the cigar is might be too high. However, I'm gonna go look at the blend. I'm gonna look at a couple things. I'm gonna look at what tobaccos are in there, because I don't really know a ton about the cigar. I know a lot about the brand, but I don't know a ton about the cigar itself. What was the first? The Plasencia Cosecha 149, and then I had the 151, and those are Honduran Puros, and this tastes nothing like those. This is a completely different experience overall, and partially probably because of the vitola, but also partially because it's just, there's probably different tobaccos in it. But it has a certain strength it's building, but I wouldn't call it pepper just yet. Anyway, I'm gonna smoke down through this first part of the box press, probably not very far, but just to look some things up, and then I will get back to you very, very shortly with the Plasencia Alma Fuerte box pressed Salomon. So yeah, I will see you very, very soon. Hey everybody. So I rolled off the ash, not because I had to, because I felt like it. Any development there is, I'm starting to identify a raisin-like sweetness, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this dried fruit sweetness. It's very, it kind of replaced that little bit of like that honey sweetness, that almost like that sugary sweetness at the front of the palate. And I think I finally know what Johnny's talking about, because I find it very difficult to find, he describes this antique wood in a couple of cigars, and he describes it as when you walk into an antique shop and there's wood in there that's obviously very old and it has a very specific smell. And he's not wrong. There's a lot of antique shops around where I'm at, and a lot of those antique shops, they have the same smell, and there is a woody antique smell to those shops, right? Especially the furniture ones. Yes, we have specific furniture ones. So that antique wood furniture that he's talking about, I actually do get in this cigar, which is insane, because I don't get that in a lot of cigars. I don't get that. It's almost like a savory wood nuance, if that makes sense. Because a lot of wood nuances are not savory as they are bold, as they are relatively dominant on the palate. This one's more relaxed, it's more refined, and it's more subtle, but it's still very much present, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, there's like this antique wood nuance in there. A little bit of sweetness. The draw has picked up perfectly now that we're opened up into this box press, which I'm glad for, because if it was still a tight draw or still like a bad draw, that can definitely ruin an experience with a cigar. If you are new to smoking, or you haven't smoked a lot of cigars and you only pick up one occasionally, and if you're picking up good brands, they're going to be fine. Like Plasencia draw tests their cigars. So my first initial thought when I had a tight draw was, maybe it's plugged. But considering that they draw test their cigars, I was like, oh, that's probably not the case. It probably just has a tight draw initially and then opens up. And I'm right, because it's opened up beautifully. And that's typical, right? But I feel like it's important that you talk about it. So with any cigar that I do that's in a similar vitola and has, you know, a much smaller tapered foot, that taper is going to affect the draw. As so far with my experience all the time. If it has a tapered foot, it's going to you're going to experience some draw issues. But in that scenario that, you know, you have a tight draw on a cigar and it bugs you, or you pick up a cigar like this knowing that Plasencia is a good brand, maybe you've had their 6.0s or the little, you know, it's box pressed in a hexagon, or octagon, no. It's hex, right? I'm right. I may not be right, but I'm right. Anyway, those will have a great draw right from light up. This one, tight draw at light up. Now it has a great draw. You have to be patient with a tapered foot. And I think that it's important that, especially newer smokers, or as people who just smoke occasionally, I think those are important ideals. Those are important factors. Those are important things to know, and it's important to know that those things will, the shape of a cigar, whether it's box pressed or not, those things will affect the flavors that you get, the smoke output that you get, the things that end up really affecting a experience that you have with a premium tobacco product. Good smoke output. There's a little bit of wind, meaning that the chimes are going to go off soon. If it gets too windy, I'll have to tape them up, but I won't just yet. I'll let them ding a couple of times. Yeah, no, there's not much else to say. There's a lot of that nice oak sweetness. I say oak sweetness because that's what I was trying to say earlier. Was that it's like a sweet oak, and I think that developed into a antique wood nuance that you get through the I hate saying like the retro palate, but it's like up in your sinuses, but you haven't actually retrohaled, if that makes sense. Pepper through the retrohale, which makes sense. I mean, if Johnny likes a cigar, it's gonna have pepper through the retrohale. If Johnny's known for anything, he's known for being an absolute pepperhead. He loves his pepper. That and having a fake DuPont. Go check out his recent couple of videos. He's been lighting it. He's been lighting his cigars with the fake DuPont. I don't know. Maybe I have PPS. Those of you that don't know what that is, check out Cigar Hound Dog's shorts. I might have a little bit of Peter Palate syndrome, you know? I just might have a little bit of it. I might have caught it, you know, just associating with him. just DMing him on Instagram. I've caught a little bit of PPS because this, although it's a great cigar, using his ranking system so far, like I said, has time to develop into something greater. It's a B tier hindering on A tier, if that makes sense. For those that are younger, like I am, that system makes a lot of sense. We see it all the time in every, you know, YouTuber and gaming YouTubers and things like that. They all use that system, that ranking system. And so when I saw that he uses that ranking system, it was very familiar to me. And it kind of resonates with me a little bit just because it's so familiar. And I can gauge where a cigar might be, at least for him. But I don't know. Not a bad cigar by any means. The pepper is pleasant. When I say the pepper is pleasant, pepper tends to, especially through the retrohale, sting the sinuses, tends to kind of ruminate, and it almost feels like you're kind of clearing them. But when you have a pleasant pepper, and I mean, it adds to the flavor of the cigar. It makes the cigar whole. It feels like it's putting a puzzle piece right in the middle of an already mostly completed puzzle. That feeling that you get from a pleasant pepper through the retrohale is a noticeable change in how a cigar functions. Because you can have great palate flavors, great palate notes, and you can have great notes through the retrohale. All of a sudden you get, you know, sweetness through the retrohale, or, you know, you get new flavors, you get new experiences. But when you combine a nice palate and a nice retrohale, it creates a wonderful experience, because you feel like you're getting the whole thing. And you feel like you can kind of dictate parts of it. Go, oh, I want more pepper. Okay, retrohale more of it. Retrohale more of what you would normally just remove from your mouth. Oh, I just want the palate notes. I really want to focus on the palate notes. Okay, don't retrohale it. And then you can do kind of both of those things and really just allow yourself to experience that whole cigar. And I think that that's something that's super unique and super special. Like, if you notice with other tobacco users, specifically cigarette smokers, there's there's a couple of people on YouTube, but the majority of cigarette smokers, they don't care about how it tastes. They care that it's nicotine and it's just something that it's like in the hand to mouth, right? And this probably has some hand to mouth. You can get addicted to that motion because it correlates with endorphins releasing in your brain, which is why a lot of cigarette smokers use lollipops. When they're quitting. However, in a cigar, you're searching for flavor. You're searching for an experience. You're gaining something from a cigar. And it's not nicotine, and it's not just the hand to mouth. It's not, there's no part of me that's like, I need a cigar. I need a cigar to enjoy a meal. I need a cigar to, whatever. I need a cigar in the morning and a cigar before I go to bed. That's not what cigars are. I've been perfectly happy smoking a cigar a week. I haven't had the chance to in a couple of weeks, but cigar a week, I'm totally okay with. And that's what my schedule allowed for and allows for. So, just an incredible experience once a week, And now that I have unlimited free time for the next couple of days, I'm going to be smoking several cigars a day because it's something, one, to fill my free time with, but two, that I enjoy. It's something that allows me to relax. And I haven't had the chance to relax in a couple of weeks. And now I feel like I finally get that nice relaxation. And that relaxation is more addictive than the nicotine product itself. Because I could get nicotine. For those of you that don't know, as someone of around my age, I vaped in high school. I vaped throughout high school. And I could vape again. If I really wanted the nicotine content of something, I could go inside, not sit out here for 2 hours, hit a vape once or twice and be done and be fine, nicotine-wise, But I'm not craving, when I'm out here, sitting out here smoking a cigar, I'm not craving the nicotine. I'm craving the search for flavor, the relaxation, the meditation, and enjoyment. And it's like it's so interesting to me that when you're a person who enjoys wine, whiskey, even like gin or mixed drinks, and you use that to relax, even though I'm not saying that this isn't technically poison, because it kind of is, but also a really deadly poison that causes many, many deaths a year, that causes many people to become belligerent and violent and angry. And that substance needs less explanation than this one does. I don't know where we went as a society that premium tobacco products like cigars, pipes, those types of things were so stigmatized against, to a point where now alcohol is a more, and believe me, I have nothing against alcohol necessarily, but alcohol is less of an explanation. Like if I'm having a glass of whiskey in a Glencairn, for those of you that don't know, it's a tulip-shaped bottle. It allows you to smell the aromas that they want you to smell. It allows you to taste. It doesn't change the taste, but when you're drinking it, it feels classy, and it's a very classy way to drink a spirit, especially neat. Now, if I had a glass of whiskey in a Glencairn, no one not a single soul, would look at me and go, that's an alcoholic with an addictive personality, with a problem. That's not a person with a problem. They wouldn't look at me and go, that's a person with social issues or mental issues or emotional issues. But as soon as you bring out a premium, even a premium tobacco product, you immediately get associated with a cigarette smoker, and then you're immediately assumed to have problems, to have issues, unless they know what a cigar is and they've had cigars before. Unless you're being talked to by other cigar smokers, you are immediately a person of disinterest because they're so heavily advertised against and grouped together with cigarettes. And I think that legislatively, we're equally as stunted. Legislatively, they don't know what to do with premium tobacco products because they're so different, yet they don't know that they're different. It got to a point where people on lobbying committees had to go to Congress and explain to them what a cigar was, not only in traditional terms, but in legal terms, and how it was different from cigarettes. They had to explain, this is not the same thing, this is why they're not the same thing, this is what this is, this is what this is. Notice how these two definitions are different. And that having to be explained to people who are legislating, especially people in the FDA, who are legislating things against cigars and against premium tobacco products. It's like with gun laws. Now, I don't know, or quite frankly care, how you feel about the Second Amendment. Cigars and legal weaponry have something very, very much in common. Both are entirely misunderstood by the people who make laws regarding each thing. The people who are making laws about premium tobacco products have no idea what premium tobacco products are. People who are making laws about weaponry have no idea what weaponry is. They don't have any idea, they don't know how to tell the difference between a legal registered weapon and an illegal registered weapon. In California, at least, you have to have certain, modifications to certain weapons, and they don't know how to tell the difference between those two. Even when they wrote the laws, they don't know how to tell the difference because they don't know what guns are. And very much in common with premium tobacco products, they don't know what premium tobacco products are. They don't know what pipe tobacco, they don't know why pipe tobacco and cigar tobacco are completely different than, cigarette tobacco with paper on it. And you can show them the difference and you can explain them the difference, but it's difficult for them to understand why they should care about the difference. It's a helicopter. Hopefully it's not looking for me. Anyway, these areas that we're in online, we see a lot of the positives that come with premium cigar smoking. We see a lot of the positives that come with pairings when it comes to drinking and smoking, when it comes to eating and smoking, when it comes to life and smoking. We see a lot of the positives. You know who doesn't see that? People who don't care. They don't have a reason to care. Which is why lobbying committees exist for the premium tobacco industry. And because if every congressman and senator and whatever, if every one of them had a family member or a friend or themselves smoked premium cigars and only premium cigars, they would understand that's not something that they need to worry about. It's not something that they need to regulate so heavily. And believe me, I know, I might be murdered online when I say this. I don't think that they shouldn't be taxed. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that premium tobacco shouldn't be taxed. I think it should be taxed. But I think it should be taxed fairly. And I think it should be taxed fairly when it comes to how it's marketed. I think it should be taxed fairly when it comes to how it's made. And I think it should be taxed fairly when it comes to how it's distributed. As an 17, 18-year-old kid, it's extraordinarily difficult unless you have an older friend or you have knowledge of some sort to acquire, attain, and enjoy a premium tobacco product. And I'm not just talking about acquiring it, because that's one side of it. It's incredibly difficult. I'm talking about enjoying it. Having the time to, because that's the main thing, right? If you're marketing towards a kid, you want something that's discreet, you want something that's can be done quickly, and you want something that can be disposed of quickly so that the evidence can be rid of. Because 99 times out of 10, that kid's not notifying their parent of what's going on or what they're doing. Well, when it comes to cigars, you have to sit down outside for 2 hours, usually an hour and a half, 2 hours, smoking the same cigar. Sometimes, especially if you're acquiring it as a young person, sometimes not great cigars, right? Not great tobacco product. What do you think the premium cigar industry is doing to allow that to happen? Because then, like I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything that they might be doing that might allow those kids to get them, right? Because you want people to be legal and you want people to, whatever. But in that same vein, in that same context, in a legal context, in a especially a federal legal context, they're gonna want to know, why shouldn't we just group you together with cigarettes and tax the hell out of you because we want money, right? It's all about dollar bills. And they say that they care about kids, but they more use that as a guise and as a disguise to really take as much as they can out of an industry until that industry's gone. I believe there's a couple of snus company, there's nasal snuff, and that's an entirely different topic, but I think there's companies that are going out of business because they've been taxed so heavily and regulated so heavily. And I don't know if they're treated or if it's a different type of tobacco or whatever. I don't know anything about them other than there are taxes being put in place and they will drain every dollar out of a business until it's gone because it's deemed a villain in the eyes of Congress, Senate, the FDA, everybody. All of a sudden, everybody says, you know what? This is no longer something that I want to discuss. This is something that I want to make action on, and they use it as campaign promoting, and then they drain the finances out of an industry, and then all of a sudden, the revenue stops because the industry fails. And all that's left are the people that can survive. The massive corporations. Scandinavia Tobacco Group. I mean, no one really wants to smoke. Maybe some people. But nobody really wants to smoke Camachos forever. You know? And there's certain brands that are owned by certain companies that will get where they need to go. And they will pay those taxes every year, year after year. They'll deal with all the regulations. But that'll put the small guys out of business. That'll put the Room 101s out of business completely. That'll put the Codwells out of business completely. And even though I'm not affiliated with those brands, even though some of their cigars, people may hate on them, right? People may be like, no, I hate this brand. This brand is garbage. Every cigar they make is garbage. And even if I thought that, even if that was my opinion, I still wouldn't want them to be taxed out of business. Because the potential repercussions of taxing a business like that gets revenue, that people buy cigars from, that people enjoy cigars from, the possible implication that no new boutique brand may come up out of the woodwork and make cigars that people love. Ferio Tego. I mean, people love their cigars, right? I consider myself people. I've only had one cigar from them, and I love it. I love that cigar. It was great. I'm about to have another one, and I hope that that's great too. And everyone said good things about that cigar, so I'm excited about it. And the idea that a Ferio Tego can't happen anymore because the taxes would be too regulatory for them to pull a profit initially enough to keep their business going is not something that I agree with. Even if I hated every single cigar that those boutique brands made, I still wouldn't want them to go down because of the potential of the future. And I think that every cigar smoker should agree with that. Every single cigar smoker should go and look at a brand and go, you know what, even if I hated them, I want to fight for them because in the future, there may be a cigar brand that I love, that I can't get enough of, that may disappear or never even be created because of the implication of federal tax laws on small businesses, especially in the premium cigar industry. Anyway, I've rambled on for 30 minutes, and the last pinch I did, a video, was like 20 minutes. So this is going to be a long video. Let's see. Yeah, wow. It's already going to be like an hour, and I'm not even halfway through this cigar. Unless there's not really any developments, by the way. There's a slight more, like that sweetness is kind of picking up. That pepper is still very strong through the retrohale. And that antique wood is still beautiful. Watch this segment. This last 15, 20, 25 minutes. If you watch nothing else. Watch this. I'm going to smoke this until there's either a change or I'm down at the band. And then I will come back and take the bands off and smoke through a little bit more of it, talk a little bit more, and then smoke through the rest of it and send you off because this video is getting super long. I will be back very, very soon. I'll try to put this in the description. If you want flavors, they're here. Second, third, let's talk about the first third. First third, tight draw, lots of oak, a little bit of cedar sweetness, a lot of honey sweetness. I say a lot. A little bit of honey sweetness right on the tip of the front of the palate. Developed into this sweet raisin, antique furniture wood. Right now, has changed, has developed. I hate being back this early because this video is already so long. But cinnamon, maybe a little nutmeg, dark chocolate, a little bit of leather in there, if I'm not mistaken. I might be. I am a fool. This is Nicaraguan. Fully Nicaraguan. I don't know how. This shouldn't be Nicaraguan. I was expecting so much more spice. Like, from a Nicaraguan tobacco. I mean, you expect so much more like red pepper spice. I get like this red pepper every time I smoke a Nicaraguan cigar. And this is a Nicaraguan fucking puro, and I get none of that. I get black pepper through the nose. I get a lot of these oak notes. A tier, by the way, now. My mouth is salivating because of this cinnamon dark chocolate combo. I love it. It reminds me of, I don't know if any of you have ever had like the abuelita Mexican hot chocolate, but my mom makes it every year for Christmas. And I know my mom makes it. I'm showing that I'm a child. I'm not. Legal consenting adults smoke cigars. Disclaimer, be a legal adult. I'm young for people who smoke cigars. Everybody I see in the lounge is 40 plus. I'm a young person. Okay? Legal smoking of cigars, use of tobacco products, and use of alcohol products. I do not condone any of the actions of underage. Do not condone underage smoking or drinking. Now, but yeah, no, my mom makes it every Christmas. She makes this cinnamon hot chocolate, and it's a dark chocolate. It's creamy, it's smooth, and this reminds me of it very, very much. It is super nostalgic, and I'm gonna buy at least a 5-pack of these, if not a box, because I mean, it's like, and just to get to the second, third, which I know, I probably shouldn't, but I mean, it's so nostalgic. It just reminds me of, I mean, I might have to grab one and age them, and like grab a 5-pack, right? And put them in, I have a 69% humidor that I can throw them in, and throw them in there and just leave them for and just like smoke them every Christmas, you know? Because this I mean, this just screams Christmas to me. Yeah, I might have to just age them for a while, and then I can have, like, if I buy a 5-pack, I'll have a several month aged one, so, you know, one that'll taste delicious, and then age it for another year, and have it then, and then another year, and then another year, and eventually I'll have like a 5-year aged Plasencia Alma Fuerte. So weird when I think about 5 years from now, because a lot of people in the cigar community, especially online, are very set where they're at because they've been living there forever. Like I said, most of the guys that I talk to in lounges and things like that are 40 plus. They're not leaving anytime soon. Me, however, I don't know where I'm gonna be. You know, let's see, 5 years from now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll probably be in Arkansas, Georgia, or Texas, one of those three, because that's where medical school is. Those are the medical schools that I want to get into. Are Arkansas. I want to go to Georgia. I want to go, and those are my first two. Georgia and Arkansas are kind of interchangeable, and then Texas is my final choice. And I think that'll be really cool because I'll get to see, you know, what it's like down there, down south, and then Arkansas is just fucking Arkansas. But yeah, good stuff. Good cigar. I mean, super nostalgic. I'm I'm going to get through the rest of this to the band. If the second third continues like this, I just kind of want to sit down and enjoy it. So I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to take the bands off on camera and move them up pretty far so that when I do take them off, it'll basically be the end of the cigar. And then probably... Whoa! Hold on, fella. Band just fell off, so I guess I'm taking that one off now. So save your bands. Put that over there. But yeah. I really, really like the second third. By the way, those flavors developed probably about 2 minutes after I turned off the camera. This video is going to be over an hour long. Good luck with that. I'm not editing it. I'm not cutting it down. I don't care. So, if you want, like I said, I'll probably leave a timestamp in the description. Or actually, I'll pin a comment of my own that's at the timestamp for the flavor notes for all of this. And then I will... yeah, and I'll keep talking once I'm through the second third. Anyway, I will see you very, very soon. Thank you. Hey everybody, I'm about to take this band off. Save your bands. Got all 3 of them over here. The second third has been incredible. Chocolate, cinnamon, a little bit of that leather, some of that antique wood nuances coming in. I mean, sweet, savory, delicious cigar. Now, since this video has been so long, this is going to be a very short little segment where I just take off the band and then continue to smoke down until it changes or until I start getting bitter notes. I have been smoking it a little fast. I'm coned a little bit. But I've been smoking it fast because I genuinely can't get enough of the flavor. So if it tends to, when I smoke a bit quicker or a bit too fast, I end up getting these kind of bitter notes. And if I get that, I don't feel that it's necessary to continue to purge the cigar, wait, and then smoke and hope that it gets better. Because when I get those bitter notes, it just kind of starts to deteriorate the flavor, and I don't want that. So hopefully, me just waiting on this for a little bit will encourage that flavor to continue, and I will get back to you when I am down where I'm going to finish the cigar. And I hope that you guys go and smoke this cigar, especially, I would get this cigar just for the second third, quite literally. Anyway, I'll be back very shortly. I'm sorry. There's flavors developing. I'm getting this sweet cinnamon. It's becoming more bold. The pepper through the retrohale is bold. The wood's bold. The chocolate's kind of dialing back just a little bit, which I don't like, but it's okay. It's okay, because there's more complexity to this cigar, and there's more flavor, and it's just pushing forward this beautiful sweet cinnamon, and it's like almost nutmeg, this baking spice. I mean, good cigar. Lovely cigar. Anyway, I really, really like it. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it so much. This is so good. This is so, so good. And I will be back when this is done. And unless there's another flavor development, I'm going to try and keep these next segments short because I talked about, laws and different things for a very, very long time. So I'm going to get through this final third. I hope to see you very soon, but also when this is pretty far down. Anyway, yeah, that's all the flavor developments so far. Delicious smoke. Full. It's been full for a while. A lovely smoke output. I'm smoking it too fast again. I'll be back whenever I can, or whenever this is either down or when it's developed in flavor. Anyway, thank you for watching this far. If you've watched this far, if you skipped the timestamp, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your commentary. I appreciate your comments. Hopefully this will be up today. I doubt it will be. It'll probably be up tomorrow. But then I'll have videos. So basically, the plan, what you should expect. Just kind of flipped you off there. What you should expect for the future of what is happening. I'm going to be recording a lot of videos today and tomorrow and Wednesday. However, the implication that those videos will be posted anytime soon is wrong. I will be posting those videos on a weekly basis. I will be posting them hopefully every Thursday. That's the goal. I want to get them all put together and downloaded and upload them on what I'm hoping is Thursdays. And every Thursday I'll have a review, specifically because that'll all be recorded today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Now, that's what you should expect going forward. Is I'll have a lot of videos coming out on a weekly basis where I'll be wearing the same outfit. And on Thursdays, while those are uploading, hopefully I'll be able to come out here, sit down, smoke a cigar, and record another video so that I can be very, very far ahead of where I want to be, so I don't have to worry about if I miss a week. Because I was nervous. I was like, I've missed a couple of weeks, and I feel really bad about missing a couple of weeks because you guys don't have content, and also it diminishes growth. And I want to be able to have that consistent upload schedule, because it bothers me not to have a consistent upload schedule. But that's the finicky thing with cigars. If you don't have time to smoke a cigar, you don't smoke a cigar. And especially in a reviewing context, I want to have time to review those cigars and review what I'm doing and really, really focus on how I'm thinking about the cigar and how I'm thinking about the flavors of the cigar. So that's what you should expect in the future. This has already gone on way too long. I will hopefully see you when this is nubbed up and then I can put it out or set it down and then send off the video. So I will see you very shortly. All right, I am just about done with this. I'm still gonna smoke it down a little bit more, but flavor developments. A lot of it's died off. Katie, no. A lot of it's died off. A lot of it is similar. I mean, it's just lighter. It's a little more free. What I mean by that is there's just not as much stuff. Yeah, there's not much there anymore. It's dying out towards the final third. It's not getting bad. It's not getting better. It's not getting anything like that. It's just the same flavors, but lighter. And I think I'm going to wrap up this review here. So thank you all for watching. If you watched to the end, it's going to be a really long video. And I appreciate all of you. So yeah, see ya.